What lens are you in?
Oh, what the fuck? Half?
Does it look
This
fine
is
like
the dumbest
here?
thing in the world. Hold on.
You're on the mic, bro. You're on the mic.
Oh, really?
We're recording.
Well, this is the dumbest thing in the fucking world.
What's going on, guys? Round 2 of this video of the 4BT swap. You guys already watched the video of us dropping in the fuel cell. And not dropping in the fuel cell, but making those changes to the fuel tank. And we finally got the motor mounts in. We were able to just get the motor mounts. So he already went ahead and cleaned up the frame. We're aiming to keep the tranny and the T-case in the same location. So what we're gonna do is get the motor onto the bell housing, bolt it up, and then we'll put on the motor mounts and then see where it lands on the frame. And we'll just fine tune it and get it to where it needs to be. Weld is super nice again. Nathan's tight, dude.
I'm just trying to figure shit out, dude. That's it.
All right, so when we finished up that time lapse and welded up the motor mounts, we forgot to record a section for you guys. But this is the turbo mocked up as of now, and the reason for that is just because he's gonna have clearance issues with putting this side in the front with the motor hanger and the injector fuel lines. And that's fine to run like that. We could take this off, but this is gonna be a little bit too much work to be swapping over and deal with that right now. So we're gonna run the turbo like that. There is a couple pieces that we could buy to rotate it and like modify the intercooler piping and plumbing and all that good stuff. So what we're gonna do is I wanna put the intake right here in the middle, and I think it'll look super cool. And that'll still be easy to remove and take off if he needs to do anything with the valve covers. And then the hot side for the exhaust, I wanna run it down similar to a stock 4.0 setup under the oil pan and out the driver's side, and then we'll heat wrap it and all that good stuff. And then we're also gonna lower this guy just so we don't have any interference with this pipe. And I think it's gonna work super smooth. So we're gonna be dropping you guys on a time lapse because it's super loud in the shop right now. I think Brett is working on, Brett's doing a lot of metal work back there and stuff. So, all right, so I decided to start doing brake lines and get all this mocked up. So I started running that one already. I was able to keep the stock one, or the original line the customer had made. I just passed the brake line straightener through it and then was able to bend it up and do something super nice. And then I need to get the proportioning valve, and I want to put it somewhere in the stock location so we could use the same switch for the brake switch, same plug. So I took off the proportioning valve and I'm gonna do something over there with it. I'll show you guys now. And then Nathan is working on getting the turbo mocked up, actually finalized now, so
She's
looking
tight.
pretty
We
good.
just gotta adjust the face of it.
All right, so I want to try to keep this bracket to keep that in the same place. So what I'm probably gonna do, oh, you also have to open up one of these holes bigger, so I'll open up this one. But what I'm gonna do is cut like that and then straight out. So it's just one ear holding it because the spacing is different from the new one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that cut up, clean it up really good, and then paint it, and then get it back on the car. So I went ahead and cut this off, kept it kind of with the same profile, and then it has like these weird divots here, I guess you could call them, or plug welds, I guess, to stiffen it up. So just passed through the flap wheel, cleaned it up, just passed it the edge of the one wheel in there. Worked really good. So now I'm gonna drill this out a little bit bigger, probably like a 1/16 bigger. I think that's all I needed. Wire wheel this and get it clean, and then we'll hit it with some touch-up paint, and this should be good. Nathan has been doing, he got like the steering shaft on, that right there. We got the master on, we did some brake lines. Got those guys mocked up, finalized the fuel lines. We got to weld a piece for the steering shaft just to raise it up a little bit. We ended up finding the alternator in the car, so that was cool. And he was messing around with the turbo. And I've been working on where I want to put the PSC reservoir. And I want to put it here. They don't make a bracket. PSC makes a bracket that goes on a TJ master and puts it sideways, but that isn't going to work with the brake lines in the master. Also, it's not a TJ setup anymore, so it doesn't work with that. So I'm going to make something that drops in between, actually on the outside right here when it's all tight. And then it's going to come out, and then I want to get the cap of the PSC reservoir pretty much in line with the rest of them. I think it'll look super nice. So this is a very rough, extremely rough cutout, but I already cut out this piece from the giant sheet of metal that we have here. And basically, I'm gonna draw it. It'll clear the master, and then it'll contour the shape of the brake booster pretty nicely, and then this will come out. And then we'll put like another 90-degree angled piece up here with a couple gussets to strengthen it. And that'll have 2 holes. These 2 holes will bolt up, and it should work really nice.
I wasn't expecting that.
We took a little break from the last time we were recording. We were doing a bunch of stuff with the grill, a bunch of stuff with, I was making that PSC reservoir mount. Nathan was doing a bunch of stuff on basically the front clip on the grill.
3 days worth of shit.
Yeah, he was doing a bunch of stuff. He was getting an intercooler on. He was getting the radiator, the condenser, and just getting everything spaced out the way it should be. We did find a problem that with using the original condenser, it wasn't going to fit the outlets for the lines where honestly a spot that wasn't going to work with the intercooler piping. So he already went and got all that mocked up. We're using basically it's an electric fan conversion from Mishimoto. That bolted on super easy. We'll wire it up to the ignition later on. He got the radiator bolted on, spaced out with some spacers. And then if you look at the front, actually, you could kind of see the condenser tucked away in there. I'll drop the part number for that condenser that we're using. I'm pretty sure it'll work. And then the intercooler, which I'll show you from the front now, but sitting right there. And then Nathan went ahead and notched all this out and got that nicely cut. So that way all the intercooler piping will just come right out somewhere up there. And you can definitely tell it looks a lot cooler now on the front end. Nathan went ahead and got the turbo with the oil drain tube and the fitting connected, so we just got to connect the line straight down. And then we ended up going with the Cobra head coupler, which we'll drop a link for that as well. And that's like a super tight clearance piece, and it's going to allow us to put the intake right there. It's going to look super cool. Alternators on, belts on, motor mounts are on. Now that we're at this point, like I said, we're going to go ahead and get the fenders on. We're going to get the bumper on, start getting it all dressed up so we can start figuring out wiring, figure out some electrical. We're going to need to figure out the space we have to play with for the plumbing, for the turbo and the exhaust and intercooler, radiator hoses. There's a lot of stuff that we have to figure out, but we need to get everything back on the car just to figure that out. So we are going to get all that back on, and we'll catch up with you in a little bit. Actually, we'll drop in the description section a part number for the intercooler that we were using, the power steering cooler, the condenser that we got from Summit, Mishimoto E-fan. We're going to drop a link for the throttle cable. The little bracket we just made that. It's just a little L bracket out of some thin steel. We'll drop a link to the Hydro Boost and the Corvette Master, PSC, Reservoir, the Cobra head fitting, the Cobra head coupler, and then also the oil drain tube that we bought that we showed earlier in the video. So go down into the description, you'll find all the stuff, all those pieces there, and everything will have a link and be super easy to find for you guys. I'll try to keep everything on Amazon or links that like it's trusted sources like Summit or Nishimoto, just so that you guys have a peace of mind when ordering. Some websites that we have bought stuff from. The Cobra head is something that we just found. It's actually from a company in Florida as well. I've never ordered from them, so I was a little sketched out, but everything worked out good. It was actually here pretty quick.
If you're gonna dive into this project and do this, get the AC, definitely use aftermarket parts for like the condenser and stuff like that. We tried for probably like 2 to 3 hours just to try to get the stock condenser back into the grill to try to make it fit with the intercooler, but it just wasn't working. Be prepared to make brackets. Take your time when you're doing this stuff.
It's like Nathan said, definitely take your time. And basically like the big chunk of all the fabrication that is gonna be happening in this type of build. We haven't been recording a lot of the last couple weeks, really. We've been doing a lot of changes to the motor. So we ended up getting a new AC bracket, doing the intercooler piping and downpipe turbo work, finalizing the brakes and the steering. There's a ton of stuff that we're gonna show you guys in the third video, but we're gonna wrap this one up, but we're gonna give you guys a little teaser of what we have going on right now. It looks super sick, to say the least. And it's running, but we're not gonna show that yet. We're gonna show you guys in the third video. So we'll show you guys a little teaser. There is clearly a lot going on different than the last video, or actually this current video. But I don't wanna show you guys too much and get you guys too excited and give away the third video too much, but clearly you can see a bunch of new stuff going on. But anyways, we're gonna wrap this one up just so this video isn't like 40 minutes long. You guys know the deal. Drop a like, comment, share the video. It helps us out a lot. We're trying to grow this page up just so we could just keep doing this for you guys. We do enjoy doing it, but it is sometimes hard to manage it with fitting it into our schedule with all the cars that we do work on. But we do have a bunch of crazy projects coming in, as far as like some things with some JKs and V8s and another two-door with a really cool motor that you guys haven't seen on the page before. And we're just getting into a bunch of really cool projects that we want to show you guys on YouTube. But anyways, yeah, just we're gonna wrap this one up. Drop a like, you guys know what to do. Thank you. See you guys on the next one.